Okay, so I'm gonna give you the mirror. Do you like it? You like it? What's wrong?
What is this?
You asked for a natural glam.
This ain't what I want.
What's wrong with it?
Everything.
Okay, what's everything?
This ain't what I expect.
Did you want me to add to it? You know what, don't worry about it. Here, take these wipes. You can, yeah, because hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Did y'all see that tea at the beginning? Like, craziness. And what's so crazy is, as makeup artists, you're gonna have situations like this. But regardless, you know, you have to handle that accordingly. But the tutorial was still gonna be posted, period. I was granted permission, so yeah. So I went in with a primer. I ran out of my normal primer, and I'm just not gonna replace it. I don't feel like replacing it, so I'll use the Milk HYDROGRIP primer to prep her skin for the makeup that we'll be using today. And I also ran out of the eyeshadow primer that I use, and I'm just being lazy and I don't feel like replacing it. Girl, we just running out of products around here, ain't we? I've had so much makeup that anything honestly can be replaced. So it ain't that, you know, I can't replace it, because that's not the issue. I just don't feel like it. And I have to use the products that I already have. So I'm using the concealer that we're going to actually use to both conceal her under eyes and, as you can see, prep her eyes and conceal her brows. So I used that, and I felt like going in with a neutral brown. I didn't want it to be red in undertone. I definitely didn't want it to be smoky, so I used a brown that was a tad darker than her. It was a mixture of a bronzer and a Tarte eyeshadow palette. The Tarte and Bloom palette, that's the one that it was. And it came out pretty. So for foundation, I always use MAC for my foundation when it comes to clients. 99% of the time, I am using MAC foundation. I don't know, y'all, it got me in a chokehold. It performs well. I never had a problem with it. Never had a problem with the undertones. So the range is there. MAC, I'm sorry, they eat it. Photographs well, videos well, so I don't have any complaints, and I don't want to switch foundations. How about that? I don't want to switch foundations. So for her concealer, we use the same one that we prepped her eyes with. And what I do when I'm blending concealer is I place it down, I let it dry a little bit, but I begin blending the edges first. And then with the concealer that's right underneath her brows, not brows, but right underneath her eyes, I let that set longer so that it can be more pigmented and all that jazz. So if you want to avoid having to go in with, you know, layers of concealer, just try that technique, allowing it to set a little longer and not going right in to blend it. Also, it might also depend on the tool that you're using. For example, if you're using like a damp beauty blender or sponge, the sponges tend to, especially if it's damp, take away and shear out whatever product that you're blending out. So I always use a brush underneath, and if I feel like maybe I put too much concealer on, I'll go in with a damp beauty blender. But typically I don't need to do that because I don't like being heavy-handed with concealer. Child, we do not do the cake face. You hear me? I do not do cake. I'll eat it, but we're not gonna look cakey. Not in this household. Because I like my girls to look good. I want them to be complimented everywhere they go. And I always get feedback saying just that. Like, my girls be looking good, period. So I do set her under eyes with a powder that is pretty much the same color as the concealer, but I don't bake. Child, especially when you're doing natural glam, do not bake. Do not bake. Like, baking is for full glams, and if you're trying to be extra, I'm not that girl. I am not that artist. I can't. I cringe when I see people baking. I cannot bake it. I don't know what it is, y'all, because baking, you can end up looking real cakey underneath the eyes. It can go full coverage real quick, and I don't want to do that for photos' sake and video's sake. I don't want, unless you request it, that is your choice. Trust me, but I'm not doing it. So I am bronzing with the Morphe palette. I just took a couple shades there. I didn't want to go too deep. And usually when I bronze, I do pick a shade that is more warm in undertone. So it adds a little bit more warmth, like something with a red undertone. And then if I feel like it's a little too red, I'll go in with something neutral. But this shade in particular was perfect for her. And I go in right underneath her eyes again, just to make sure everything is set in place. This is like a security blanket for me because I don't want my girls to crease. But I do dust it away because, like I said, I don't do the baking. I'm not a baker. I set and I dust off. For her blush, I did go higher for her blush. I'm trying something a little different with my blushing technique to see if I like it. So I can't say if I'm going to switch completely to this technique, but I'm just seeing how it is. But it was pretty on her. How I pick my blushes is just, I tend to go towards either pink, berries, oranges. Those are my typical go-to shades, really, with anybody, because I feel like they're safe. So it'll be a variation of those shades. I just never really know. Now, my blush palettes that I use is usually the Morphe bronzer blush palettes. They're like an 8-pan palette. Or Juvia's Place, they have really bomb blush palettes. They're so freaking pigmented. Like, you would never run out of that blush palette, ever. And it would take you a long time to get through it because their palettes are very pigmented. So, I do pop on some mascara before I do her lashes. Because with lashes, I don't like putting mascara on lashes because lashes are meant to be reused. So, if you put mascara on them, guess what? You're either going to have to wash them to get that mascara out, or just throw them out, and that's wasteful. And girl, no. I'm so glad I was able to show y'all me filling in brows, because the last video I was not able to show y'all how I fill in people's brows. I keep it real natural with people's brows. I don't do all that shaping, concealing, and we're not transforming. I am complimenting what they already have. So the lashes I'm using is from my brand. This one was so freaking pretty on her. So you always, whenever you're doing strip lashes, is measure them first before you commit to that lash. So I had to trim it for hers because she has smaller eyes. I always told her she got little eyes. Like, she need to grow up. For my lip liner, I am using the Morphe lip liner. They are really irritating because why would they discontinue all their lip liners? Now, I don't know what's going to replace it. I fell in love with this lip liner. It's so frustrating when companies do that. Like, I don't get it. And I wanted to go with a neutral pink because we're doing a natural glam, so I didn't want to do something crazy. Plus, I know that she like gloss, so I went in with a mixture of my glosses, something pink, something brown, and just mixed those two together, and it was perfect. So I do go ahead and contour her nose just a bit, not too much. And I spray her down with the MAC Fix Plus, and then I go in with the Seal It spray. I'm going to put the brand below, but yeah, I loved how it looked. She looks so good and filtered.
Ooh, okay. I see you. Ooh, this look good. I love it.
You look bomb.
I just need to learn how to do this shit myself. Like, why it gotta be so difficult? It didn't even take long to do.
No. As I can see, she really did like her makeup. I had to put that at the beginning because it was so funny. It was just too good. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all later.
And action. You already messing up.
Why would you make a fake cinema thing? I don't even know what the fuck them called. Okay, hold on.
Like, yeah, so if y'all need her as a model, please don't book. She laugh a lot.
That's because she's stupid. Oh my god.
You childish.
Just grow up. What is wrong with you? You is irritating. All right, I'm looking this way because you stressful.
Like, oh, your mom got an attitude. I can't see her makeup. Like, yeah, I'm not booking her. Like, none of her people be satisfied. Yes, you look so bomb.
I do, girl. I look so mature. And we know I'm so childish in real life.